this Baltimore crowd, they're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
This is Joe Mixon, fourth in the NFL in rushing last season. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Mixon running right, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Locke. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for Cincinnati. 51 yards. Pretty good play by both the thrower and the catcher there, Charles. 3rd down, showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And what I liked about the play was his receivers understanding that everything wasn't on time back in the pocket. Rhythm was off a little bit. He adjusted as well and gave them a chance to complete that play.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
They'll give it to Mixon. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Hey, Delta. 3 bud. Mike 55.
On 2nd and goal. Luck. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Mixon. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Check out. 622. Be a long day for you.
Mixon trying to punch it in, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Williams. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the Ravens' 49-yard line.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
Check out. Ready. You ready? Hey, check right. Watching the fire. I'm on. Check. 55, come on. 12. 55, come on. All day, dog.
Luck now to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. This is caught. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Bullock good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out. To the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That one goes for 30 yards. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And some room to... There goes Mark Ingram. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
At the 25-yard line.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
14, Ravens 7.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I'm going back to you. Line 36. Line 36. 11. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Watch 36. Hurry up.
Now it's locked. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
He's got his man here. It's Green. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Green's first catch of the game. Good for a first down. On first down, Mixon. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. From the gun, here's Love. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
On 2nd and 10, Love. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jalen Ferguson. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Hey, take your shot. Back there.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, 25 to Mike. Come on. Here we go. Gone right.
Here's Love. Going deep downfield for Ross. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch the edge. It's free. 1, 2. Short. Go. 57's right. Let's go.
Jackson now. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On third down, it's Hill. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
To throw is Love. Open man is Ross, complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. I will remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing on 3rd down, Love. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kaiser White. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And an alley to run. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you called it the right time...
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Going up top. And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Anthony Averett picks it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, trying to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
From the 36, Jackson steps away to his left. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right, and that's caught inside the 30. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
He's coming, he's coming.
From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
I'm coming after you. 57's Mike. Mike 57. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong foot. 57. Mike 57. 6 man.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Who that? Who that? Chef. Switch it. Go on. Switch it.
They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Tucker's kick is good. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the 2nd half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Check three.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. It's caught. Smith. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. For Lamar Jackson, his first NFL start came against the Cincinnati Bengals November 18th in Baltimore of last year, and he threw for 150 yards, ran for 119 more as the Ravens won 24-21 to kick off what became a 6-1 final stretch that got him the AFC North title. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 43 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going, and their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
From the 24, Luck. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
How many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys, they've talked about big plays, sacks. They often come in bunches. Well, it may not be a bunch here, but that is the third sack of the game for them.
And around the sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do.
Back to throw, Luck. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A third down gain of 19. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up second and 11 at the 41-yard line.
On second and 11 now. Luck going deep downfield for Ross. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. The shotgun snap for Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Peters came screaming in on the corner blitz.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
third quarter and you've got the lead, you're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go play action now. Jackson. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Mike 56. Mike 56. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Jackson now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. On the carry, it's Hill. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Here's Hill one more time. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Ready, 56, Mike 56. I'm trying to collect. Zip it. I got it. He's checking crap.
Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way why does that guy get on the field on this drive?
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
We got 25 the mic. Come on. Hey, exit. We got 25 the mic. How you getting us ahead?
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 12, Luck. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
And a Bengal first down.
Check out. 90. I'm coming up to you. Hey, 25 the mic. We got 25.
Now a first down throw, Luck. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Don't say nothing. Watch it. Safety's creeping.
Here's Luck. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Ingram again. He's trying to escape. He won't. He's taken down. Ingram taken down of the end zone. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Come on. Hey, watch it. Mexico.
After the interception, it's Long. Got a man open, it's Ross. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Throwing is Long. Now a desperation throw deep. It got his man complete. There he goes left side. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for